Welcome back to the Moose Review, your one-stop shop for all things music, vinyl, and more. Today we're excited to introduce a friend of ours, Drew. Drew is a regular guy from Columbus, Ohio, who is interested in art, music, film, and more. Although he's always listened to and appreciated music, he's never listened to it on vinyl. He's never owned a vinyl record and to date has no stereo. Moose Vinyl is sponsoring his journey around the great state of Ohio to build his collection and meet with the people that make up the fabric of the vinyl record collecting community. Hopefully, by the end of his journey, he will be as obsessed about vinyl as we are. In addition to this podcast, Drew is recording his journey and we're publishing it to our YouTube channel. Connect with us on social media at Moose Vinyl and follow along.
The sun was barely peeking over the horizon when I embarked on what was to be one of the most exhilarating adventures of my life, an endeavor that was as exciting as it was uncertain. I dubbed this journey the Moose Migration, a name that was just the right blend of quirky and meaningful, perfect for a quest sponsored by my buddies at Moose Vinyl. The goal? Quite simply to immerse myself in the enchanting universe of vinyl records, a world that's captured the hearts of countless music enthusiasts around the globe. But let me tell you a little about myself first. I'm a total novice when it comes to vinyl records, a newbie in every sense of the word. I have friends who claim that music is best experienced when listened to on vinyl, the rich, warm sound incomparable to anything digital technology can offer. I know others who own stacks of vinyl records, all lovingly collected and cared for, even though they don't have a record player. They tell me that having a physical record from their favorite artist, something tangible that represents their music, is a different kind of joy altogether. It was fascinating to hear about such varied perspectives, and I wanted to see for myself what made vinyl so special. I wanted to experience the magic firsthand. The concept of the Moose Migration even piqued the interest of my teenage brother Cameron. Now, he's all of 17, his world more attuned to the digital hum of smartphones and the constant chatter of social media. But he's seen people on social media platforms spinning their records, their faces reflecting a tranquility and joy he's rarely seen. And that's made him want to join the vinyl club even at his tender age. Isn't it interesting to see how the world of music has changed? From vinyl records to cassette tapes, from compact discs to the digital realm, and yet the allure of vinyl still endures. For my very first stop on the Moose Migration, I decided to turn to my circle of friends, a group of individuals who've already dipped their toes in the vast ocean of vinyl collecting. My friend Koku suggested I start at Spoonful Records, his favorite record store in the city. With his recommendation in mind, I walked into Spoonful Records, heart pounding with a mix of excitement and apprehension. After all, I was stepping into unfamiliar territory. Until that moment, I had never been to a record store, had never owned a vinyl record, and didn't even possess a record player. But that's what made this journey so exhilarating. The thrill of the unknown, the joy of discovery, the anticipation of finding hidden treasures within the walls of the store was invigorating. Inside the record store, I found a vibrant community of music lovers, a melting pot of individuals united by their shared passion for vinyl. There were customers who had just embarked on their vinyl collecting journey, their collections only a month old. Others had been in the game for a decade, their vast collections a testament to their enduring love for vinyl. And then there were the store employees and the owners, each one radiating an infectious enthusiasm that was hard to resist. I remember watching a documentary where Bruce Springsteen said, "Everybody in a record store is a little bit of your friend for 20 minutes or so." And as I interacted with the people in Spoonful Records, I realized just how true that statement was. Despite our different backgrounds and the disparity in our knowledge about vinyl in that store, we were all equals. We were all friends, bound by our love for music and the magical medium that is vinyl. As I approached Spoonful Records, I encountered a couple who had just completed their visit. They held in their hands a vinyl record, Gemini Rights by Steve Lacy. They let me take a look at it, the shiny black vinyl, a stark contrast to the colorful artwork on the cover. Seeing my interest, they asked me about my purpose at Spoonful Records that day. I found myself sharing with them my story, explaining the Moose Migration, and expressing my enthusiasm about venturing into the realm of vinyl. When I confessed that I didn't own a record player yet, the gentleman kindly informed me that Spoonful Records offered a complete record player setup for around $280. As I thanked them for their time, my heart filled with excitement at the thought of owning my very own record player. I could already imagine myself in the comfort of my home, the room filled with the warm, rich sound of music playing from my record player. With a heart filled with a newfound enthusiasm, I turned my attention to the one person who agreed to join me on this wild, unpredictable journey, my dear friend Rob. Rob is a man of art, a connoisseur of the visual medium. He's got a YouTube channel, Rob Bell Photo, where he shares his passion for photography with the world. He buys the most affordable, often vintage, SLR film cameras he can find and reviews them on his channel. His love for film, his reverence for a medium that captures moments in their raw, unfiltered beauty, mirrors the love vinyl collectors have for their records. Words like warm, timeless, and authentic find a place in both our vocabularies. Rob was there, armed with his trusty camera, ready to chronicle my journey through photographs. I can't express just how grateful I am to him for coming along. His support meant the world to me, and his presence made this first step of the moose migration all the more memorable. With his encouraging nod, I took a deep breath and walked into the bustling energy of Spoonful Records. The first sight that greeted me was a stunning selection of new vinyl records. My eyes sparkled with awe and anticipation, and I wasted no time diving into the inviting display. As I navigated through the maze of music, a Gorillaz album caught my attention. It stood there, almost beckoning me, reminding me of my buddy Connor, who had sent me Demon Days to listen to earlier that morning. And right beside it was Noah Kahan's latest release, Stick Season, an album I had just discovered the previous night and had instantly fallen in love with. There's a particular line from the track New Perspective that had lodged itself in my mind. "You made Ohio feel just like Central Park." That line, it resonated with me. I'd felt that, lived that. The way he made the familiar seem fantastical. I loved that. I left the store without buying the album, but I knew I'd return for it, that it would soon find a place in my growing collection. As I was skimming through a collection of rock albums, Rob came over, his face lighting up with a few recommendations. If you're starting a collection, you can't go wrong with Bob Dylan's greatest hits, Abbey Road by the Beatles, The Doors, and the Fugees, he suggested. Now, I must admit, I wasn't familiar with many of their songs, but if they had earned Rob's seal of approval, I was eager to give them a shot. His words planted the seeds of curiosity within me. I decided then and there to add those albums to my list, determined to explore these artists and their music on the Moose Migration. One of the highlights of my visit to Spoonful Records was the opportunity to interact with the owners, Amy and Brett. They radiated warmth and enthusiasm, their passion for vinyl palpable in every word they spoke. They had an unbridled joy that was utterly contagious. Amy shared with us a story about the largest collection she ever purchased, around 100 boxes of vinyl records, with each box containing somewhere between 40-50 records each. It was a staggering number, one that underscored the immensity of the vinyl universe I was stepping into. Amy, with her infectious energy, taught me about the intriguing world of vinyl in more ways than one. On my journey around the store, I noticed several records advertising pressed on 180-gram vinyl. Unsure of what it meant, I decided to ask Amy, who promptly explained to me that it signified a higher quality material used in the pressing process. These records are less prone to warping and more apt to rest securely on the turntable. It was a fascinating tidbit of information, a small but crucial insight into the complex and meticulous process of record making. As I soaked in Amy's wisdom, I also had the chance to engage in an enlightening conversation with Brett. We touched upon the history of Spoonful Records, the tales of their past locations, and their journey that led them to their current abode on East State Street, right in the pulsating heart of downtown Columbus. Brett recalled somewhat vaguely that they had moved into this space around a year ago. His memory may have been slightly fuzzy, but his passion for music was crystal clear. Our conversation meandered to the topic of artists and their evolving discography. We discussed the likes of The Weeknd, The Jam, and Prince artists who've dabbled in various genres and reinvented their sound over the years. Brett pondered over the best place to categorize their records within the store. His words lingered with me long after. Like Prince, he can go in jazz, he can in soul, he can go in rock. We put him with rock pop, but the best music is hard to define. The Weeknd, we put him with hip hop, but he's not really hip hop, he's everything. When you can't categorize something, that's usually my favorite thing. Indeed, the best music transcends genres and labels. It's fluid, ever-changing, and versatile, much like the world of vinyl records itself. With this profound thought, I continued my exploration, my eyes darting across the shelves, taking in the extensive collection before me. Several records piqued my interest, but one in particular struck a chord deep within my heart. After Hours by The Weeknd, my favorite album of 2020, and easily one of the best records I've ever heard. I vividly remember the day that album dropped. It was like yesterday, a beacon of solace amidst the turmoil of the world. It was mere days after the COVID-19 pandemic had shut down sports, right before the excitement of March Madness. I was devastated, like so many others, yet there was Abel, the Weeknd, offering an escape with his music, serving as my personal antidote to the pervasive uncertainty and anxiety. From the crowd favorite chart-topping hits like Heartless and Blinding Lights to more personal favorites such as Faith and In Your Eyes, every single song on the album had a special place in my heart. The prospect of experiencing it all on vinyl was tantalizing, to say the least. Taking in the album cover, holding it in my hands, felt different, more personal. It was as though I was connecting with the music on a more profound level, even before the needle hit the grooves. The tangible aspect of vinyl brought an entirely new dimension to the listening experience. It was as if I was embarking on a journey with the artist, feeling the music seep into my senses through the physical medium of vinyl. In that moment, I realized I had found my first purchase for my fledgling vinyl collection, After Hours by The Weeknd. I felt a wave of gratitude wash over me as I made my selection. I owed a debt of thanks to Amy and Brett for their unwavering support and their invaluable insights into the world of vinyl. To Rob, my mate, who documented my first steps into this fascinating culture, and to every single customer at Spoonful Records who were nothing but kind and welcoming. Spoonful Records wasn't just a record store. It was a vibrant community, an oasis for music lovers where shared passions sparked conversations, and the joy of discovery was a shared experience. It was my very first stop on the Moose Migration, but the impression it left was indelible. The welcoming energy, the shared love for music, and the warm atmosphere were everything a novice vinyl enthusiast like myself could hope for, and more. As I stepped out of the store, clutching my new purchase close to my heart, I couldn't help but feel a sense of euphoria. I had begun my journey into the enchanting realm of vinyl, guided by the passion of the wonderful folks I had the pleasure of meeting. I was more than eager to continue this adventure, to explore the world of vinyl across the state of Ohio, and to share my discoveries along the way. The Moose Migration was just getting started, and I was filled with anticipation and excitement for what lay ahead. Whether you're an avid vinyl collector or a beginner like me, if you ever find yourself in Columbus, Ohio, I can't recommend Spoonful Records enough. From their wide range of music selection to their welcoming staff and community, you're sure to find something you love, just like I did. As the sun set on that transformative day, I found myself reflecting on the magic of vinyl and the unique experience of record store exploration. There was something inherently captivating about the process, a tangible connection to music that transcended the boundaries of time and space. Each album, each vinyl had a story to tell, not just of the artists and their music, but of the times they represented, the cultures they influenced, and the people they touched. The tangible nature of vinyl brought me closer to the music, to the artists. It wasn't just about holding a physical manifestation of the music, it was also about engaging with the artwork, reading the liner notes, appreciating the creative decisions that went into the physical product. There was a depth to the experience, a multi-sensory engagement that digital music just couldn't replicate. As a novice, I had only just begun to scratch the surface, and I couldn't wait to delve deeper. As I continued my journey through Ohio's record stores, I looked forward to discovering more about the rich history and enduring appeal of vinyl. I was excited to learn about the various nuances of the format, the different genres and eras, the various pressing methods and their impacts on the sound quality. I was eager to expand my collection, to include not just my personal favorites, but also the classics, the trailblazers, the hidden gems. I wanted to explore different musical styles, to broaden my musical horizons, to experience the vast, diverse world of music through the medium of vinyl. But most importantly, I was thrilled to share this journey with you. The world of vinyl, as I was beginning to understand, was not just about music. It was about community, about shared experiences, about connecting with fellow music lovers. The Moose Migration was not just my personal journey, it was an invitation for everyone to join me in this exciting adventure, to share in the joys of discovery, the thrill of the hunt, and the love for music. As I embarked on this journey, I knew I was not alone. I had the entire vinyl community with me, guiding me, supporting me, sharing in my excitement. I knew I had countless more record stores to explore, countless more vinyl to discover, countless more stories to share, and I couldn't wait. The Moose Migration was more than just a tour of Ohio's record stores. It was a journey into the heart of the vinyl community, a testament to the enduring power of music, and a celebration of the unique joy of vinyl collecting. From the shores of Lake Erie to the rolling hills of the Hocking Hills, from the bustling streets of Columbus to the serene beauty of the Ohio River, this was going to be a journey to remember. And as I looked down at my first vinyl purchase, cradled safely in my arms, I couldn't help but smile. This was just the beginning. The world of vinyl was at my fingertips, and I was ready to dive in head first. My journey has only just begun, and I hope that you'll join me on this adventure. Whether you're an avid collector or a novice like myself, there's a place for you in the vinyl community. There's a sense of camaraderie here, a shared passion that unites us. It's a world of discovery, of music, and of connection. And I can't wait to see where it takes us. I hope to see you at the next stop on the Moose Migration, my friend. Until then, keep spinning those records and let the music take you on a journey like no other.
Thanks for tuning in and hearing Drew's story. We're excited to see where this journey takes him and hope you are too. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, get the very best of what the vinyl community has to offer, and to follow along Drew's journey across the state of Ohio. Bye for now, and we will see you on the flip side.